What if I told you your Galaxy phone is about to feel brand new without buying new hardware? That's the magic of Samsung's One UI 8. This isn't just a small patch or a few cosmetic tweaks, it's a full-on evolution that changes how your phone looks, feels, and performs. And trust me, some of the hidden features in this update will blow your mind. Before watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel Tech Insights so that you can get notified on daily tech updates. Have you ever noticed how a software update can sometimes be more exciting than a brand new phone launch? That's exactly what's happening right now with Samsung's One UI 8. For years, Samsung has been polishing its software experience, but this time, they've gone deeper, rethinking animations, refining controls, and even adding new personalization tools that make your device feel uniquely yours. And the best part, it's built on top of Android 16, meaning you're not just getting Samsung's improvements, but also Google's latest under-the-hood enhancements. This combination makes One UI 8 one of the most ambitious updates Samsung has ever released. The update itself is surprisingly massive, clocking in at over 3 GB depending on your device. That's bigger than some entire operating systems from a decade ago. Right after installation, the difference is clear. Animations are no longer just functional. They're fluid, dynamic, and almost cinematic. Opening apps feels snappier, swiping between home screens is smoother, and the transitions are more natural than ever. It's like Samsung put its UI under a microscope, zoomed in on the tiniest details, and polished them until they were flawless. One of the most talked about upgrades is the lock screen and always on display. Samsung has finally made it smarter and more customizable. You can now reposition elements like the clock, widgets, and notifications with far more freedom. And here's the kicker. The UI adapts dynamically to your wallpaper. For instance, if you move the clock to a brighter area of your wallpaper, the font automatically darkens to maintain visibility. If you shift it to a darker area, it brightens up. It's a small detail, but it creates a seamless, premium feel that wasn't there before. Another new trick that's already becoming a fan favorite is the background eraser option for always on display. Imagine taking your favorite character, pet, or logo and having it pop out against a clean background, almost like a 3D sticker on your lock screen. When you tap the screen, the background gently fades in, and with another tap, it disappears again. It's subtle, stylish, and exactly the kind of personalization Galaxy users love. Now let's talk camera improvements because Samsung never holds back here. One UI 8 introduces smarter controls directly inside the camera app. Until now, swiping inside the viewfinder just flipped between front and rear cameras. Functional, yes. Exciting, not really. But in One UI 8, you can customize that gesture to bring up quick controls. So instead of diving into menus, you can instantly adjust your most used settings with a single swipe. It's a small change that makes a huge difference for people who use their cameras daily. And yes, Samsung has also improved night mode, stabilized zoom shots, and even patched that strange purple tint bug some users noticed when photographing the moon at 100x zoom. The result, cleaner, sharper, and more natural-looking photos. But One UI 8 isn't just about flashy features, it's about performance and reliability. The update comes bundled with the latest security patch, closing dozens of vulnerabilities while strengthening Samsung's secure folder, account management, and even SOS features. Hackers thrive on tiny loopholes, and this update slams those doors shut. So while you might only notice smoother animations, under the hood your phone just became one of the most secure devices on the market. That said, no software update is ever perfect. And Samsung's community is already spotting quirks. For instance, the lock screen clock animation, which is supposed to glide smoothly when unlocking, sometimes stutters. It's the kind of detail only power users will notice, but when you're spending over $1,000 on a flagship phone, even small hiccups stand out. There's also a minor inconsistency with the, now brief, notification feature. It appears perfectly in some places but occasionally disappears on the lock screen. These aren't deal breakers, but they're reminders that even a polished UI is a work in progress. Interestingly, One UI 8 also refreshes core Samsung apps in the background. Apps like Gallery, Camera, Phone, and Secure Folder quietly received version upgrades that improve stability and reduce random crashes. Many users don't realize that updating system apps through the Galaxy Store after installing One UI 8 is just as important as the system update itself. That's where a lot of the real performance magic happens. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. One UI 8 isn't just an update, it's a signal. It tells us where Samsung is heading next. The rollout starts with the Galaxy S25 series, but it won't stop there. Older devices like the S24, S23, and even certain foldables like the Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6 are lined up to receive it. Samsung is making it clear that this isn't about keeping only the newest phones fresh, it's about breathing new life into older hardware too. That's a win for users who don't upgrade every year. And here's something many people miss: One UI 8 is just the foundation. Samsung has already hinted that One UI 8.5 is coming, with even more AI-powered features, deeper foldable optimizations, and enhancements that go beyond what we're seeing today. In other words, what you're installing now is only the beginning of a bigger journey. So how does it feel to actually live with One UI 8 day? Today, honestly, transformative. Apps launch instantly, scrolling is effortless, multitasking feels smoother, and battery life is quietly better thanks to background optimizations. You don't have to go hunting for these improvements. You feel them in every swipe, every tap, every second of use. That's the beauty of a great software update. It makes the hardware disappear, so the experience feels seamless. Of course, the story isn't over. There's a good chance Samsung will push out a smaller update, a 200 to 300 MB patch, to clean up those last quirks before the stable version goes wide. But even in its current state, One UI 8 is one of the most polished, feature-rich, and future-ready updates we've ever seen from Samsung. So here's my question to you. If you've updated already, what's the first hidden change you noticed? Was it smoother animations, faster performance, or maybe a small bug that disappeared without you realizing it? Drop your experiences in the comments below, because the Galaxy community always spots things changelogs never mention. That's it for today's deep dive into One UI 8. Make sure to stay subscribed to Tech Insights, because I'll be covering every surprise update, hidden feature, and performance tweak Samsung rolls out in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the biggest phone upgrade doesn't come from new hardware, but from the software already in your pocket.